there's a lot of people.
That was exactly what Arthur Fleck said in that first video about Kanye. He said Kanye approached him on the street not too far from Skid Row when he was hanging out, and he said, "They did what I warned you about. They're saying that I went crazy, but what really happened was they destroyed my career, and I'm homeless now, and they're going to act like I made a comeback, but it'll be somebody posing as me." It's interesting too. This kind of veers off into the world of politics. I don't know if you and Roger saw saw Trump's latest one of Trump's Truth Social posts last week, and Donald Trump actually did post this. You can look it up, where he said that Joe Biden was assassinated back in 2020, and they put body doubles and even AI generated images of him in place of the real him making speeches.
Trump said that? Really?
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Did you remember that, Roger?
Yeah, were you talking about Biden?
Yeah, did you see Truth Social post?
Well, I try to stay away from a lot of Donald Trump's Truth Social posts.
Oh no.
That's like committing suicide by saying something like that, isn't it?
That's fine. But I was just wondering if you had seen that particular post as it relates to what we were talking about with people.
I've heard some of it.
I don't know why Trump would say that. Doesn't he know everybody thinks he's nuts?
Well, it all stemmed from the pen. Okay, they had this pen that they say that Biden was just
the auto pen,
where they were just automatically signing stuff, and that's where it started from. So I mean, like, I
But to say that he's dead, because I just saw a thing where they interviewed Biden the other night, but it was kind of weird. I mean, he doesn't act like he knows where he's at, but wow, I mean,
he's definitely senile.
And they said that part of the reason they were coming up with the cancer diagnosis for him so now, even though he's had it for years, was to cover for the fact that the real one was actually dead. Now there was actually instances there was actually at least a couple instances in the former Soviet Union decades ago where the premiers had died, and the Russian people didn't know about it for like months or years in some cases.
Wow.
And this was before AI and all that stuff, where they can completely create fake videos of world leaders making speeches they never made and everything else. The technology is way more sophisticated than we know.
Well, when it comes to AI and everything, the more that I'm doing research into that, which I've been doing it amazingly a lot in the last year, but the more I check it out, the more I see like a lot of esoteric aspects to it, like that a lot of people aren't even aware of. Like most of this stuff everybody calls computer science isn't really computer science. It's straight up esoteric shit. Excuse my.
It's weird. My boyfriend and I watched a show about it with Bill Gates, and he said a lot of young people are starting to create their own partners and stuff because they just aren't interacting with humans and don't know how. So it's strange. It's really strange. But the weird thing is I keep seeing the whole thing, like they said Britney Spears went crazy and now she's got a conservatorship over her. Somebody's got control over her money. Wendy Williams, Chappelle supposedly, but he said that he was never crazy, that he just needed to get away and he didn't want to deal with them. So but then when he left, that's what they said about him. They were like, oh, he's lost his mind and we don't know if he'll ever be back again, because he said, no, I'm not going to take your contracts and do what you want me to do with them. So that's what he said.
And Cat Williams said the same thing too.
Oh,
Because didn't they?
and
He said
he's got something to do with a lot of them. And somebody said Britney Spears and had pissed off Jay-Z somehow too. But I think I'm surprised he hasn't been charged with something, knowing Diddy as well as he does. You know, they were friends. He has to know. He had to be involved in that stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And another, I do wonder, because Trump was talking about those clones and AI body doubles and what have you. You remember back when they cloned Dolly the sheep, back in the early 2000s, and then they said, well, this didn't work out so well. We're not going to research cloning anymore, and we're certainly never going to clone humans. And then that was the last we ever heard of it. Does anybody really believe that the government would stop cloning people? I mean, body doubles are part of security details for these people, so why wouldn't they clone them?
They actually had something in Ancient Aliens on an episode they had in their later episodes where, and I don't know for sure if it's true or not, but they said that that's not really the case, because I think it was in Japan or somewhere over in the Orient, they cloned or they made twin clones, two kids that were twins over there, and the guy who did it actually got put in prison for 3 years and was released. So I know, and there are rumors that another human named Eve was actually cloned. I think that one was in South America.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that vaguely.
So
I do vaguely remember hearing about that. And it's interesting too, what I was going to tie that Biden-Trump thing back to, and the Kanye thing back to, was another story going clear back to the 60s when they said that, for some reason that we still don't understand today, that Paul McCartney had actually died and had been replaced, and the Beatles were in their psychedelic phase and all that time, and so they were slipping all these subtle messages into their songs like I Am the Walrus and Strawberry Fields Forever about Paul McCartney having died and been replaced with another one. But the weird thing about it, you could attribute to them all just to having been too strung out on acid and having paranoid delusions and stuff back then. But to this day, Ringo Starr is actually still going around saying that the real Paul McCartney was actually killed and was actually replaced with like a body double or a clone. So it makes me wonder if when they supposedly cloned Dolly the sheep back in the early 2000s, if this was the first time that something like this had been pulled off, or if it was just them making something that they've been doing for maybe decades public.
Elvis, they keep running around saying he's alive, but I'm sure he
yeah. He may have been one that was just sacrificed because he sold his soul to the devil, though, and he really is dead.
He was in such bad shape on his last concert. I don't even know how he made it through that. And that was shortly after that he died. So.
Yeah, he was.
If he was sacrificed to this cult, you know what the intentions to that was, don't you? They were going to eat his ass.
Elvis.
Elvis, I would have, if I was a cannibal, dude. Elvis would have been right on the plate, dude. He was fat and succulous, or whatever they call it.
I do wonder if there is some cannibalism. You've heard of the adrenochrome conspiracy, haven't you, Roger?
No,
I've never.
The adrenochrome. The adrenochrome thing?
Tell me about
So
it.
basically, I thought you of all people had heard about this since you were like a big conspiracy buff and you were into all kinds of weird stuff.
I
But
might know it, but I'd like to hear you say it because I want to hear you.
oh,
Huh?
you just want to hear
I want to hear you.
my side of it.
Your-
Okay,
Give me your
so basically the adrenochrome thing, huh?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So the adrenochrome thing, it actually does tie into like the Hollywood conspiracies thing. And it's pretty out there. I don't know for sure if I believe it myself, but since you mentioned like the cannibals thing, it just reminded me of it. So it was like basically the adrenochrome is a chemical it's an endorphin that's produced in the brains of children when they're traumatized, be it through being molested or raped or put in very terrifying situations. So basically the theory went that, you know, Diddy and Weinstein and Epstein had this in their trafficking rings. Children would be terrified from being kidnapped and molested and stuff. And somehow or another, these celebrities were getting adrenochrome from these traumatized children, which is the endorphin produced by their brains when they're traumatized. And these celebrities were consuming adrenochrome to stay young. And they were even using it as a beauty product, applying it like on their skin and stuff.
Isn't
I
there
mean,
animal
that is pretty. I know it sounds pretty crazy,
but wasn't
but
there animal too? They said that if it was scared, it tasted better. Or fish.
oh yeah, like a toad, like there was some kind of psychedelic toad. You'd scare it, and it would emit some kind of psychedelic, and you would lick it, and the trip would be stronger if it was scared.
It was actually some kind of I don't know what it was. They said if the animal was scared, the meat tasted better. I can't remember what it was.
Veal?
Huh?
Was it veal? Like
might-
calves, you would scare them real bad before you'd slaughter them, and the meat would be
Yeah.
juicier. More.
It was kind
The
of
same kind of thing.
yeah, and
Wow.
they still believe, you know,
You
some
guys,
kind of crazy.
But that was kind of basically what the adrenochrome thing was, and it ties into another Hollywood conspiracy theory called Pizzagate, where they were actually eating brains of children with adrenochrome in them.
Well, that's like that Mountain Dew thing that I sent you, isn't it? Something like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Or like, I don't know what that's about. Have you heard that, Roger?
Yeah.
I've heard of it through Pizzagate, and what this goes into is something kind of like a interview that Jaffe off of the World Pirate Radio Network last night did, where he had a girl who says that she was involved with MK Ultra, and and that they had her.